Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we are going to work on an arrangement that one of our clients brought in. So she brought in this really pretty picture and she brought in her hydrangeas. So these are Limelight hydrangeas and some oak leaf hydrangeas, and I thought that I would make a beautiful arrangement with you guys. So this is a pretty deep pitcher and it needed to have plenty of water. So what we did was we added some fresh floral foam to the container. I added about a third of a block to the bottom and then a full block on top. So it is pretty heavy, but it has plenty of water. I filled the reservoir with fresh water and a little bit of fresh flower food. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hydrangeas and go ahead and arrange our hydrangeas, and then we're going to add a few other blooms in with our hydrangeas. So I'm going to take some Quick Dip. Now Quick Dip is a hydrating solution that helps to keep your hydrangeas hydrated. And I'm going to take my blooms. I have 3 of the Limelight hydrangeas, so I'm going to take those. And I may have fibbed. They may all be Limelight hydrangeas. I'm going to take my floral knife and I'm going to cut the stem at an angle. And then I'm going to dip it in the Quick Dip. I'm going to count to about 7. And then I'm going to press it right down into my floral foam. Now, I'm using the Quick Dip because it just helps to keep these hydrangeas hydrated. It is a hydrating solution that just helps the flower to drink that water quickly. Now, if you do not have Quick Dip, you can use something called alum. You can buy alum, and I would say that you can buy it at the grocery store, but I went to the grocery store yesterday. I went to Walmart and to Kroger here in our town, and neither of them carried alum. So I ordered it off of Amazon. But I am going to do a quick video on using alum and Quick Dip and see kind of what the difference is. So I have our 3 pretty lime green hydrangeas tucked in. Next we're going to use a few of these beautiful white ones. So I'm just stripping the leaves off of the hydrangea, cutting that stem at an angle and dipping it in the Quick Dip. And then I'm pressing it right down into that fresh floral foam. And we're just kind of going all the way through this foam with all of these pretty hydrangeas. Now when you go to harvest hydrangeas, you want to do that in the morning. You want to harvest any of your cut blooms, you want to do that in the morning. Now the reason you want to cut them in the morning is because they have had all night to recover from the hot day. Usually here in Mississippi, the days are really hot and humid, and it takes a lot out of the flowers to be there during the day, right? Because that heat really takes a lot out of the flowers. And so after a long night of cool temperatures or cooler temperatures and the dew, they get rehydrated and they get to where they are going to fare much better if you cut them in the morning than after they've worked so hard to stay hydrated all day in the heat. If you cut them in the evening, it's just hard for them to recover. So I'm taking each hydrangea, again, I'm dipping them in that Quick Dip. Okay, so there's our hydrangeas all the way around. I think I'm going to take one more bloom and pop it right over here. Let's see, where am I going to do it? Right here, maybe. All right, so there's our hydrangeas all the way around. I'm going to take my bucket and set it down. Next, I am going to add some greenery. So the greenery I chose includes a spiral eucalyptus, which is so pretty, and then a gunai eucalyptus, which is just kind of a smaller leaf eucalyptus. I'm going to take it and break it into smaller pieces, kind of strip off the bottom leaves, and I'm going to tuck this eucalyptus kind of all the way around the edge of our container. I really like adding eucalyptus around the edge because I like for it to kind of drip down the edge of the container. I just think it looks so nice. Got a little bit more, and I just like to break it into smaller pieces. And tuck it throughout. All right, there's our pretty eucalyptus. Next, we're going to use a little bit of this baby blue or spiral eucalyptus. I'm going to take it and pull off some of the bracts. And then I'm going to cut that at an angle. I'm going to try to strip off some of that those leaves. Now, when you think about eucalyptus and you think about the fragrance of eucalyptus, it's usually this baby blue or the spiral eucalyptus that you think about. It's very fragrant. Now, it does have a lot of oil. And so if you find that your hands get kind of itchy when you work with eucalyptus, it's often because you're probably allergic to the oil that's in it. And so you may want to wear gloves when working with eucalyptus. I know my sister Robbie, she can't strip the greenery. Now she can hold it and put it into an arrangement, but she can't strip that greenery because it just makes her hands itch terribly. They kind of break out. So I'm just taking some of these pieces, breaking them off and stripping those leaves, cutting that stem and just tucking it kind of all the way around in our design. I love the eucalyptus. I think it smells so pretty. It really looks pretty. All right, so there's our pretty eucalyptus. Next, we're going to come in with some wax flower. Now, this is kind of a pinky fuchsia color wax. And so what I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to break it just like I did the eucalyptus in smaller pieces, and we're just going to tuck it around in this arrangement. So this is a filler flower, so it's just adding just a little pop of color all the way throughout our design. Now, wax flower is seasonal, so I can't get it year-round. It's only during a season. And it comes in shades of pink. It comes in white. And then we also get it in tinted colors. So we can order it from Budsy, and it comes tinted in kind of autumn colors. Yellows and oranges and reds. Purples, deep purple, but it's such a pretty filler. So again, I'm just taking it and breaking it into smaller pieces and going all the way around in our design. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to add a few of these garden-like roses into our arrangement. So this is not a true garden rose, it's a garden-like rose. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to remove some of the petals that just have some bumps and bruises. I'm going to take a small piece of wire. It's about 1/3 of a piece of florist wire. It's 21 gauge. I'm going to flip my rose over. I'm going to pull off some of these thorns first. I'm going to flip my rose over and I'm going to roll it back and forth in my hands. To open it up. See how pretty it opened? Taking my floral knife, I'm going to cut that stem at an angle. We're just going to pop a few of these really pretty garden-like roses. For some reason, the name of this rose always escapes me. I can never remember the name of this rose. So if you can remember the name of it, please let me know. Please drop it in the comments if you know the name of this pretty, it's a pinky purpley colored rose. I'm going to turn it over and I'm rolling it back and forth in my hands. Just roll it back and forth. And what that's doing is just opening that bloom right up. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm taking those thorns off, just using my floral knife. I'm just running it down that stem to remove any of those thorns. Taking that wire, pressing it into the calyx and wrapping it around. Now we like to wire our roses here. Is it necessary? You don't have to if you don't want to. We just like that it gives us an added stability to that stem, especially when I am adding flowers into floral foam. I like to make sure that I wire those roses so that they don't dip. Sometimes people forget to add water to their containers, and so their flowers get dehydrated. That wire is just giving some support to that stem. Pop off any of those petals that don't look pretty. Add my wire. Wrap it around that stem. Turn it over. Roll it back and forth in my hand. Now all this is doing is opening those petals up for me so that it looks a little more like a garden rose. Now when I tell you this is a garden type rose, it's not a true garden rose. Garden roses are a little more expensive, so this is a garden like. It's not a true garden. We always like to find a rose that that will mimic a garden rose but won't give us the same price as a garden rose. So this is just a regular rose that mimics a garden very well. Again, I'm going to flip it over, rolling it back and forth in my hands. It's just opening those petals right up. Hey Callie, would you look in that cooler and tell me the name of this garden-like rose?
Garden-like rose?
Like this pinky garden-looking rose. Do you know the name of it?
I just read it.
Rolling it back and forth in my hands, just opening those petals right up.
Country Blue.
Country Blue is the name of this rose. Country Blue. All right, and there is the most beautiful design. Now we used her hydrangeas that she cut from her yard, which are so pretty. Most of these are Limelight hydrangeas. I used a little bit of eucalyptus. I think 2 stems, maybe 3 of the eucalyptus, the gun-eye eucalyptus, and then 2 stems of the spiral eucalyptus. And then we added some wax flower. That beautiful wax flower really, really pulls the color of those garden-like roses. And And then we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the country blue roses. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we do things here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. We would love to answer your questions. Do me a great big favor. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you like the best about this arrangement. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down below. We will have a new video up soon, so be sure to come back and watch all of our new videos. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will see you soon. Thanks, guys.